Hey there! You might know Barak in Spanish. Our channel has over 400,000 subscribers. Well, this is the official English version. Same content, same passion. Now in your language. But we need your help to grow. Hit that subscribe button and join us on this new journey. Now, let's get back to the video. Jordi Alba joined La Masia at 9 years old in 1998. Alejandro Balde followed 13 years later, in 2011, when he was just 7. The current left-back for Barcelona is now 21 years and 8 months old. At that age, Jordi was playing his second season with Valencia, the club where he completed his football development. Alejandro Balde has played 126 professional matches. At Valdés' age, Alba had just 38 appearances in top-flight football. Alejandro has 3 goals and 18 assists in his career so far. At the same age, Jordi had only 1 goal and 2 assists to his name. Jordi Alba played 93 matches with the Spanish national team and was even captain during Euro 2020, but didn't debut for Spain until he was 22. Alejandro Balde debuted with La Roja in the middle of the 2022 World Cup in Qatar, coming on as a substitute against Costa Rica, replacing Jordi Alba himself. Needless to say, Balde is already way ahead of what Alba was at the same age. Cubarsí has played 54 league matches, plus 16 in the Champions League, 8 in the Copa del Rey, 2 in the Supercopa and 6 with the Spanish national team, for a total of 86 official appearances in his professional career. His trophy count so far: 1 La Liga title, 1 Copa del Rey and 1 Spanish Super Cup, and all of that at the tender age of 18 and a half. So where was the last great defensive leader of Barça at the age Cubarsí is now? Well, Piqué had played just 3 professional matches at the time, all with Manchester United and mostly with backup lineups. 1 in the Carabao Cup against Crew Alexandra, where he played 23 minutes, 1 in the Champions League against Fenerbahce, where he came on the last 25, and a single FA Cup start against Exeter City. Let's travel back to August 2002. To see what Xavi Hernandez had accomplished at the exact age Pedri is today. At 22 and a half, young Xavi had played 152 professional matches, scored 10 goals and provided 21 assists. Impressive, right? Now, let's compare that to Pedri. 202 matches for Barcelona. That's 50 more than Xavi. 26 goals. 16 more than Xavi at the same age, and 21 assists, which is exactly the same. And what about the national team? Xavi won a silver medal at the Sydney 2000 Olympics, and Pedri earned an identical one 21 years later in Tokyo. Xavi, at Pedri's age, played in the controversial 2002 Korea-Japan World Cup, his first major tournament with Spain, and had 6 caps by then. Pedri, on the other hand, has already played in a World Cup and 2 Euros, with 34 caps to his name. So clearly, Pedri is ahead of Xavi at both the club and international levels. But what about trophies? Well, at 22 and a half, Xavi had won 1 league title, 0 Copa del Rey, and 0 Euros. Pedri, at the same age, has won 2 league titles, 2 Copas del Rey, and 1 Euro. Pablo Páez Gavira, better known as Gavi, was born in Seville in 2004. Pedro Rodriguez was born 15 years earlier in Santa Cruz de Tenerife. While their positions and playing styles differ, both academy products stand out. Not necessarily because of freakish talent, but because of their discipline, work ethic and relentless commitment on the pitch. Gavi is currently 20 years and 10 months old. When Pedro was that age back in 2008, we still called him Pedrito. But actually, scratch that. We didn't even know who he was. At Gavi's current age, Pedrito had played just 5 measly minutes for Barca's first team, while Gavi has already racked up 181 professional matches, including 28 with the Spanish national team. Gavi has won 2 La Liga titles, a Copa del Rey, started in a World Cup and even scored in it. He's lived through so much that he already knows what it's like to be sidelined for 11 months with an ACL injury. Pedro, again, just to be clear, had played 5 minutes when he was Gavi's age. Lamine Yamal has already won 2 La Liga titles, a Copa del Rey, a Spanish Super Cup and a Euro. That's only 41 fewer trophies than Lionel Messi. The young Spaniard has played 127 matches, scored 31 goals and delivered 43 assists, all before turning 18. Through this, we don't really know what Messi could have done at this age if he had had consistent first 10 minutes. What we don't know is that, unlike today's Barça, the 2005 version didn't need to rely on a kid that young. It was stacked. Ronaldinho, Juli, Eto'o, Larsen and Frank Rijkaard did the smart thing. He didn't rush Messi. At Jamal's age, Messi had just 8 appearances, 1 goal and 0 assists. Just to put that into perspective, Messi, a year older than Yamal, wasn't even called up for the Champions League final against Arsenal. He wasn't in the starting 11, nor on the bench. Lamine Yamal has outpaced Lionel Messi, even when it comes to dyeing his hair. The Argentine didn't dare until he was 29. Andrés Iniesta was 12 when he joined La Masia in 1996 from Albacete. 20 years later, Fermín López was 13 when he joined from Betis. Fermín was born on May 11 in El Campillo, a small town in Andalusia with 2014 residents. Andrés was also born on May 11 in Fuente Alvilla, a village in Castilla-La Mancha with just 1,799 people. The roots are nearly identical, but now, far apart are they, at least statistically. At 22 years and 1 month, Iniesta had just won the 2006 Champions League. At the same age, Fermín was knocked out in the semifinals against Inter Milan. Andrés had played 121 matches for Barça. At López's age, Fermín trails with 33 fewer appearances. Iniesta had scored 5 goals in his professional career. Fermín has 19. Andrés had 15 assists by then, 4 more than Fermín's current total. Internationally, Andrés Iniesta had played 1 World Cup match in Germany 2006 at Fermín's age, with a total of 3 appearances for Spain, 1 more than Fermín, who was a bench player in Euro 2024, who was also held in Germany, by the way. The player most associated with the Barca colors didn't arrive as young as most. He joined at 17. The current second captain joined a year later, at 18. Puyol played 89 matches for Barca B before earning a first-team spot. Araujo needed less than half of that, just 42 matches with the reserves. Today, Ronald, whom Barca promotes as a homegrown Masia product, even though he made his pro debut at Boston River in Uruguay, is 26 years and 3 months old and has played 175 senior matches for the club. At Araujo's age, Puyol had already played 196 official matches for Barca, 21 more than Ronald. Meanwhile, Araujo has earned 23 caps for Uruguay. At the same age, Carles had 6 more appearances with Spain. The legendary Barca captain will go on to win 6 La Liga titles, 3 Champions League, 2 Copa del Rey, 1 Euro and 1 World Cup. But in 2004, at age 26, he hadn't won anything. Araujo, in contrast, already has 2 league titles and 2 Copa del Rey under his belt. For 15 seasons, Barcelona never figured out how to play without Sergio Busquets. The midfielder almost never got injured, but when he was out or playing poorly, Barca's midfield will collapse into chaos. The 2023 season, the first without Busquets, went exactly how you'd expect for a Barca side missing its long-time compass in the middle of the pitch. The wait for a replacement promised to be a long journey through the desert, until Hansi Flick pulled Marc Casadó out of his hat, a player who can orchestrate the attack and also disrupt the opponent's build-up, a specialist at recovering the ball and excellent at reading passes into the final third. The breakout start of Barca 2025 has played 41 matches so far. At his age, 21 years and 9 months, Busquets had more than twice the experience, 89 appearances for Barca, including the 2009 Champions League final. Busquets had contributed 4 goals and 3 assists by then. Casadó, by contrast, has 1 goal and 6 assists. Internationally, Casadó has 2 caps for Spain. At Casadó's age, Busquets already had 11, and was just a couple of months away from winning the 2010 World Cup. Iñaki Peña and Víctor Valdés joined Barca at the same age, 13. Both went through the entire academy system. Victor made 71 appearances with Barca B between 2000 and 2003, while Iñaki defended that same goal 59 times between 2008 and 2022, the year he was loaned out for 6 months to play with Galatasaray. Peña finally debuted for the first team at 23. Víctor Valdés played his first senior match for Barca at 20. Today, at 26 years and 3 months old, Iñaki Peña has played 45 matches for Barcelona. At that same age, Víctor already had 256 matches of experience, including the Champions League final against Arsenal, that cemented his legacy in 2006. Iñaki has won 2 league titles, just like Valdés had at that age, but the difference is, Valdés won them as a starting goalkeeper.